Hello and salam. Today we'll make some Indo-Chinese chicken corn soup inspired by the streets and restaurants of Pakistan. For this you'll need some chicken breast. I've kept the bones for more flavor, some corn, a carrot for the stock. You can also add some celery. I didn't have any, some soya sauce, fresh eggs, oil, cornstarch, vinegar, chili, also some fresh chili for the sauce, preferably some green chili, but since we didn't have any, red will do. Some white pepper, salt, onions, garlic, and some spring onions for garnishing later. So I've lost some footage here, but all there is a tablespoon of oil with all the vegetables, which is garlic, onion, carrots, and celery if you've got any, and then you put in all your chicken and saute it until it gets a little bit white. This will help get rid of the smell from the chicken as well as the garlic. And I'm using chicken breast and also a lot of just bones and stuff because I typically just buy a whole chicken and cut it up in the pieces that I need for different dishes and keep all the leftover bones and stuff for stock. This brings a lot of flavor to your stock and you'll also be minimizing a lot of your waste. And then you'll just add in some salt to your taste. Keep this to the minimum because we will be adding soy sauce later on, so you don't want to overdo it. And once that's good to go, you'll add in 2 liters of boiling water to your stock. So you just need to cover everything and cover the lid and let it simmer until the meat is nice and tender. While the stock is cooking, you can prep your corn. I have a whole can of corn. Half of it I'm just leaving as is, and the other half I am creaming in a food processor or a blender, and that's it. So once the meat is properly cooked and is nice and tender, you can strain this to have just the stock for the soup. Now you can add in your creamed corn. Obviously rinse the container so you can have all of it out, and then you can add your remaining corn as well and let it come to a boil. You can also add in a tablespoon of some soya sauce and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. So this is not much at all because there'll be a lot of vinegar in the sauces. You can also then add in some white pepper as much as you like and mix it all in. Once the chicken has cooled down, you can add it to your soup. Keep a little bit of the shredded chicken aside for serving your soup later on. Now let your soup come to a boil and then you can start adding a mixture of corn flour and cold water. Make sure the water is cold, otherwise the corn flour will start clumping up before you add it to your soup. Add this gradually and keep stirring the soup at the same time. This will make sure that you don't have any clumps in the soup, which is not a good look at all. The amount of corn flour really depends on how thick you want your soup, so just keep adding it in until you have the right consistency. But make sure to give it some time before you add in any more because it does thicken with time. So while the soup cooks, you can make your 3 simple sauces. As you've noticed, the soup itself is quite simple because it's these sauces that bring all the hotness and sourness to the soup. The soups in Pakistan were always served with these sauces, and it's great because it lets you customize the flavors to your liking. So sauce 1 is some plain old soy sauce. Sauce 2 is freshly cut chili is soaked in some vinegar, and the third one is Sriracha sauce and some chili powder in vinegar. If you don't want too much vinegar, you can add in some water to your vinegar to dilute it. But otherwise, this is it. Now we'll just whisk 2 eggs to add into our soup. While the soup is boiling and is at the right consistency, you can add the eggs while stirring it at the same time. You need to add these gradually like the corn flour and stir it at the same time to make sure you don't have any clumps of egg. You can also use a whisk if you like to make sure that it's nice and well distributed. At this point, you can check if you need to add any more salt or pepper in your soup or if the consistency is not right for you. But otherwise, this is it guys, the soup is ready. To serve your soup, pour it in your bowls of choice and then add in a little bit of the sauces on top and some shredded chicken. And also don't add too much of the sauces so the person having the soup can adjust the flavors to their liking. You can also add some spring onions on top for some garnishing, but this is totally optional. I just wanted a pop of color there. This soup is perfect for iftar in Ramadan or winter, or if you have a cold, or just in general for a light, healthy meal. Hope you guys like this super easy recipe. Tag me in your recreations, and until next video, bye!